Hey everybody, it is Ed. All right, today's video, we are doing part 4 of my series of what Elvis songs do I listen to. And for this particular episode, if you will, we are going to talk about Elvis's Christmas album released October 1957. This is what they called the deluxe release. It was a gatefold. This had a different identification number than previous albums, which were classified at this point, 1957, as LPM. I guess that stands for long playing mono. I'm not exactly sure, because once they started going to stereo, it was LSP. And I'm not quite sure what LSP, because then L would be long for, LPM, long play mono, but the S and the P, long stereo play maybe? I'm really not sure, but anyway. This one had an identification of LOC dash a number, which was 1035. Like I said, with the LPM numbers or the LSP numbers, I guess I can actually show you what I'm talking about, because before we get into the songs, this album has been released since. A couple of years later, it was released as this, Elvis's Christmas album, with a different cover, not a gatefold, no book, nothing else inside. But the song selection is exactly the same on this album as it was on this. So, yeah. Now, what was I going to show you? Well, you can see that on this copy, which is an original pressing, has LPM 1951 because it is in mono, and then I believe this is in 63, or this is from 1963, this pressing. This is what they called their stereo electronically reprocessed. So, and this one has the number of LSP. But again, I'm really getting into something that I shouldn't be at this point, because that's not what this video is about. All right, but let's get into the songs on this album. I'm going to show this repressing. This is from 1985. This is an almost exact replica of the original album, where it does have the book inside. The only real difference is at the end, it has what their releases were at the time that this was released back in 1984-85. All right, whereas in the original 1957 release, it had all the releases at that time that you could get. All right, so let's look at the songs. So we have side A, Santa Claus is Back in Town. I love that song, written by Lieber and Stoller, and it is has just a really good groove to it, kind of bluesy in a way, and just really rough vocals. And by rough, I mean not bad at all. Just they have like a gruff quality to them, and his performance on the song is really, really good, and the song itself is really, really good. So definitely a staple, especially around Christmas time when this album comes out. Definitely love the fact that this album starts with that song. Perfect beginning. White Christmas, I enjoy it. I think it's a very good version. I love his voice in it, and it's sincere, and it's really, really good. Here Comes Santa Claus definitely holds a special place in my heart, especially from childhood. Always loved that song as a kid, and even as I grew older, I still appreciate it for what it is. And there's just certain parts in that song when he sings it with such, sincerity, that it always like gets me inside. Peace on earth will come to all if we just follow the light. Let's give thanks to the Lord above, cause Santa Claus comes tonight. I don't know what it is, but there's just something about when he sings that it always gets me. But I love it. I'll Be Home for Christmas, can't go wrong with that one. I think it's a great song. I think his performance in it is really, really good, and I give it top marks. Blue Christmas. What can we say about Blue Christmas? I don't think there's anybody on this planet who doesn't know the song Blue Christmas. And if they don't, I don't know why. But it's a staple. It's a classic. It is a phenomenal song, and love to listen to it. Santa Bring My Baby Back to Me, another one, another classic. Love it. Love the groove of it. Love the feel. It's a nice up-tempo number, but again, it's just really pleasant to listen to. Definitely enjoy it. So far, side A, every song is a winner. All right, now we go to side B, Old Little Town of Bethlehem. Not one of my favorites, but I don't turn it away either. I like his performance. I like the way his voice sounds in it. I don't know, but like I said, it doesn't always resonate with me, but for the most part, I do enjoy it. Silent Night, I do enjoy as well. I think his performance is really good in it. I like the way his voice sounds, and really have nothing bad to say about that one. There'll Be Peace in the Valley, same thing. It's a great song. His performance is outstanding. I especially like when he did it on the Ed Sullivan Show, and it's a staple. So again, can't go wrong with Peace in the Valley. I never really found I Believe to be a Christmas song. I always found it more to be of I guess just more of a religious type song. But I do like the song a lot. I like the lyrics. I like the performance. I love the emotion and the sincerity that you hear in Elvis's voice when he performs it. So I Believe is a great song as well. Take My Hand, Precious Lord. Again, just Elvis's heartfelt sincerity and emotion when he sings these songs. It stands out. It's really evident, and you can tell that there's a love for this material from him. So very good. And all right, now It Is No Secret What God Can Do. Yeah, nice song, but this is one that I usually do tend to skip. Again, just doesn't hit me, doesn't grab me, doesn't resonate with me, and it really has nothing to do with Elvis's performance or anything like that, or even the lyrical content. It's really more of the musical aspect of it that just really does not appeal to me. So out of this whole album, the only one that I would say that I really skip would be It Is No Secret What God Can Do. But otherwise, I love this whole album, and especially around Christmas time. I did do a review of this previously, so some of you may be familiar with that further down in my library. But, again, just to show you, so this was the 1985 repress. This was pressed on green vinyl. Friday Music has released a couple of different versions as well. First one was in 2012, and then they've released different colored versions as well, white, green, blue, and red. Back in 2016, I believe that was. There's also been, I think there was a Speaker's Corner reissue. There may have been an Analog Productions reissue. There have been a lot of reissues of this. However, the funny thing about this one is, now here's your original cover, and then here is the 1985 cover. All right, now they look extremely similar, but if you look very closely, you're going to see that the packages are and the ornaments, as much as they tried to get them to match, they are not the same. Apparently they had lost the photography or something for this, where they were not able to do a reprint. I don't know what the hell, the story is, but when they did this one, they had to basically reproduce it. So they tried their best to match up all the wrapping paper and everything else. But if you look, you can see that there are some differences. So that was pretty funny. And also on the back of the repress, of course, you have your barcode, but they also listed the songs on the back, where the songs are not listed on this one. I think initially it was a gold sticker or something, so I don't know. All right, and then again, this one came out, I believe this was 1958 when they released this. And then this is the stereo pressing from the 60s. And there you have it. So Elvis's Christmas album, what do I say? Well, I say, listen, if you can find an original LOC 1035 in mint condition, most likely it's going to cost you quite a pretty penny. But unless you get really lucky, and are able to get one cheap, I recommend definitely getting it, because it does command a high dollar, especially if it's in a premium condition. So always something to look out for. All right, but I appreciate you watching. If you would like, leave a comment. All right, so next up, I'm thinking, next up is going to be Elvis's Golden Records. All right, so I'll get to that when I can. And until then, appreciate you watching. Good to yourselves, good to each other. Take care, everybody.